Welcome back, guys. Patrick here. Moving on to the next question. We have this function here, and we have to describe all of the transformations. So notice here, the parent function is root x. And in general, when you transform the function root x, the form it's going to take is a square root of k bracket x minus d plus c. So we have to get the a, k, d, and c values, and then we can describe what the transformations are. Well, notice here with the function that the 2 over 3 is attached to the x. So we have to factor the 2 over 3 out of this expression in order to get the k by itself. So if we factor 2 over 3 out of that expression, what are we going to be left with? Well, we're definitely going to be left with the x by itself, which is what we have to do. What's this 2 going to turn into? Well, what we do when we factor something out is we take the 2 and divide it by 2 over 3. So a more simple example, if we have 3x plus 6, if we take out a 3, what are we doing? We're dividing everything by 3. So here we're left with x, and then 6 divided by 3 is 2. So that's the process. So when we take 2 over 3 out, we got to take the 2 and divide it by 2 over 3. So this is like 2 over 1 divided by 2 over 3. So we got 2 over 1 divided by 2 over 3, which is 2 over 1 times the reciprocal of 2 over 3, which is 3 over 2. So this would end up being 6 over 2, which leaves us with a 3. So over here, we'll be left with x plus 3. And notice that it's a positive because the sign here is positive, and we factor out a positive 2 over 3. Right? So I thought I would show you this process because sometimes students get a little confused if you're factoring out a fraction, how that affects that number there. And this is how you do it. And then that plus 6 stays right there. All right, so now we know what all of the transformation values are. So we know the a value is -2. What kind of transformation is that? Well, it gives us a vertical stretch, a bifactor 2. Remember, when we're talking about factors, we always put the absolute value, so the positive number, even if it's negative. But because the a value is negative, what else does that mean? It means that the function is reflected in the x-axis. And then the k value is 2 over 3. So what does that mean? Well, it means that there's a horizontal. This one's a little trickier because there's a fraction. It's a horizontal stretch because remember, we're supposed to flip the k value, so the factor is going to be 3 over 2. And notice that 3 over 2 is greater than 1. 3 over 2 is 1.5. So usually when we're dealing with a fraction, it's less than 1. So we would say a horizontal compression. But because 3 over 2 is greater than 1, we say it's a horizontal stretch by a factor 3 over 2. Right? So just be careful with that. And remember, the factor and the k value, they're always reciprocals of each other. So if they give you the factor, then you want to flip it to get the k value, or if they give you the k value, like in this case, you want to flip it to get the factor. Right? And then the d value is -3. We always switch the sign because it's x minus d. So x minus -3 would give us x plus 3. So d is -3. It means that it gets translated left 3 units. And then the c value is 6. And that means it gets translated up 6 units. right? So those are all the transformation values and their respective transformations.